Hi there, welcome back to Watcher of Realms gameplay hero review of the latest hero, which is just around the corner beginning Saturday, and it's Jeera, the Golden Lioness. And if we look at it, Arbiter, Northerner, you see what category she falls under. So if you've got any of those other units, even Valkyra, such as like how I do, that'll obviously work well. As for Northerner, does that allow me to click underneath? Oh, there we go, that's even better. So if you got someone, like that other leader there, I can't remember their name, the one with the blonde hair, which was actually, Isolde, pardon me, it's right there, Isolde. Yes, she was a fragment event in the past where you had to collect shards. That might have been one of the first fragment events within Watcher of Realms as for the global version. If you do have King Hearts, even better. Elder, you got Rourke, and Dagna. So you'd be doing well if you got any of them. So because she's across different factions, even better. So Jeera is a fighter, normal, as for attack. A counter-attack hero, very interesting, right? Damage escalating. As for the cost, 17, which is reasonable. Redeployment time 60 as usual, block 2, which is actually quite good. Got a little story there. She slew a god, what chance do you imagine having, Fallon, to a tavern rogue? Whilst a few are immune to gross manipulation, control at a cosmic scale is another game entirely. When Jeera, the Golden Lioness, turned to the gods, she did so in good faith. When she could no longer trust them, she turned within. It's been centuries since the collective splintered in two, reverberations of its schism echoing painfully throughout Tyre. In answer to the cursed dominion, comprised of those who turned to demonic magic, the supreme arbiters formed and opened their souls to hollow deities, aiming to fight fire with cleansing light. But gods are not without their own ambitions, and many viewed the vulnerable arbiters as pawns to be maneuvered in their infinite war against demons. Jeera was to be such pawn. And it goes on, the story. So if you ever want to read through that, feel free to do so. It's quite a lengthy one, so good on the people that are Watcher of Realms to include a nice story, backstory behind them. Now, we look at the Awakened section. If you are lucky enough to get Jeera more than once, Awakened number 1, dealing damage to enemies will consume 1 stack of Radiant Erosion on them to deal additional damage equal to 4% of the hero's max HP and inflicts stun. Interesting. Now, Radiant Erosion seems like the same named skill what we saw before with Praetus. Attack 300. Once HP drops below 25%, gains a shield equal to 100% of max HP for 15 seconds. 15 seconds is a massive clutch. Depending what mode you're in, whether it be a boss battle or not, that could really save you. This effect can only be triggered 1 time per deployment, so understand that it is somewhat limited. Penetration 8%, and last but not least, enhanced. When an enemy is inflicted with retribution for more than 5 seconds, increases damage dealt to this enemy by 15%. So in a boss situation, they're going to be taking retribution for more than 5 seconds because they're not going to die that quick, of course. So yes, that's another strength there. Warriors, once controlled by Kujo, this warrior overcame the deity's will with her noble soul. Her prize was a powerful body that suppressed mortal limits. Well, there you go. I mean, it's a really interesting, unique character, of course. Got to acknowledge that from the Watcher of Realms team. Okay, she's got the metal armor down below, got a belt that goes around, and then of course the main feature would be the gauntlets, nice and gold, as you can see. Oops. Almost like lightning running through her body, which makes sense based off the story. Then the lioness on her shoulder, gauntlets, very good. And then I guess you'd call it a staff, or, well, no, not a staff because she's a fighter, more so a giant club, the head of a lion, which looks really detailed, with the eyes glowing and kind of like an aura, presence about it, and there's the back. So pretty fitting. Fantasy style, but kind of realistic in a way. Kind of like a Hercules, but a female version in a way. So, as for the talent, increases max HP by 30%. The higher the current HP percentage, the higher the hero's vulnerability, up to 30%. What's the basic attack? Deals 100% damage to one enemy. Okay, that's quite simple. Triumphant Resolve, when activated, restores 75% HP immediately. That's really good, that. During the skill effect, increases max HP by 40% on top, with damage dealt by 125%, reasonable, and attack interval by 30%, all lasting for 20 seconds. This effect will be permanent upon the second activation. That's the most critical part. As long as Jeera survives till the second activation of the ultimate, it will be permanent for as long as she's alive after that. So I'm guessing the restoration of 75% HP is a one-time thing, but as for the skill effects, max HP by 40% and damage 125%, and the attack interval being increased by 30%, that will be permanent. That's very interesting. That you'd still need to build her out in terms of like a bit of an all-out attack, but when we go back here, the higher the current HP percentage, the higher the hero's vulnerability, up to 30%. So you have to look out for building her in HP as well. Arguably, what you could do with Jeera is use that gear combination. I can't remember which one it's called. I think it's one of the symbol of the chest plate, where it's like a certain amount of HP, 6% will be increased by attack. Something worded like that. So you could, hit one bird. Is it two birds with one stone? I think it is. So you can increase the max HP, and with the more max HP, it helps with the talent, and with the more max HP also helps with that gear set, where it increases attack based off a certain amount of HP you have. So you can do a bit of a combination, and with this manual ultimate in the background, that will really help. Now, we've got Define Reprisal. For every 3 basic attacks, the 4th basic attack will deal 150% damage, along with defense penetrating damage equal to 100% total damage the hero has taken previously. So I guess the more damage she takes, the more defense penetrating damage she will do back. I guess the counterattack. The accumulated damage taken will be reset once it takes effect. The accumulated damage taken will not exceed 150% of the hero's max HP, and that's just for balancing reasons, but still a really unique passive to have in the background, of course. So yeah, you take some damage, you could be a bit of a glass cannon, but you can even fight back even harder after that. That's nice. Mark of Retribution, here we go, the passive. So let's see what Retribution is first of all. The caster receives 30% more damage from units inflicted with Retribution. Ooh, okay. I think there was a, what would you call it? When those charms, if you apply it onto them, you can deal an additional 25% damage, but you'll also take 25% damage. I guess if you used to use that with her with this passive, it'd probably make you a massive glass cannon in a way. But anyway, there's no harm in experimenting, right? It says when attacking a target inflicted with Retribution, deals additional damage equal to 2% of the hero's max HP. So really, try and build Jeera pretty high HP, equal with a decent amount of damage as well. And of course, you've got to take in mind the crit rate and crit damage all in mind, and even the attack speed. Just do what you can. All damage received from enemies not inflicted with Retribution is reduced by 20%. Switching targets removes the Retribution inflicted on the previous target. So that's kind of interesting, I guess. What else do we have? Last but not least, the arena damage increase. Increases damage in the arena by 15%. Yes, definitely. So Jeera will definitely do well in the arena. Besides, like how it says, oh, it can reduce your cost by 5, this and that. To actually have a damage increase exclusively in arena, that'll definitely help, in addition to get an advantage over people that don't have Jeera. You get these additional boosts along the way. Now, as for the review, obviously not available yet because it's not been released, but you know, a unique looking character with a rich backstory, visually high quality, clear, it all links together, there's a nice flow to it. And then as for the stats, more so how the stats can play a role based on the talents, based off how you build her and how that can link in with her skills and abilities. you can definitely have a deadly loadout if you build her correct. So, good luck if you do manage to pull Jeera. She will be only available, I believe, in the Ancient Summoning event pool. Outside of that, I don't think she will be available immediately. Could be wrong. I'm just basing it off in the past how it's gone about. And then once that Ancient Summoning event is over, I believe she'll be released in the general pool for summoning. You know, a normal summoning crystal or using the gems in the normal summons ×2 or not, you could pull Jeera, but at this moment in time, you won't be able to, if I'm correct in saying, whilst that Ancient Summoning event is active. But once it's ended, you'll still have the chance of pulling Jeera. So, good luck. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.